Hi, I'm Ian Robinson. I'm standing in front of the cross because I want to bring to you some news about the module in Makes You Wonder called The Story. The point of telling all of the stories is to talk about Jesus eventually. And the cross has been taken as the symbol of Jesus just about everywhere. But that just makes it more difficult. How do you really just get to the simple point? Well, what's so special about Jesus? How on earth could this Galilean carpenter start a global movement of such immense proportion and such stupid corruption and spiritual power? How could that be so? Well, it's a good question, and just you need to talk to people from where they're coming from. They don't know anything. At this university where I'm a chaplain, almost none of the students have ever held a Bible in their hands. They don't know anything, so all they've got is what's on the media. You wouldn't want to trust that, would you? So as well as just sharing your experience of Christ, you actually have to inform people about him and intrigue them with this extraordinary story. You don't want to get caught up in lots of theological stuff either, because many people think that they're preaching the gospel, when in fact they're giving a mini lecture in the doctrine of justification or of penal substitution. Well, you don't have to give those mini theological lectures. No wonder people glaze over and don't get what you're on about, or it's just too complicated. They get the wrong end of it. No, if you're sharing your faith with people, keep it simple. But there are also some really severe and hard things that people need to ask us. Look, life is difficult for people, and they're doing the best they can to put it together. So there are really 4 major questions that should be thrown at a Christian if someone's really going to test it. And if they don't ask these questions before they come to Christ, they'll certainly need to ask them after they've come to Christ. The one question is, if God is so good, why is there so much suffering still? Another question is, if this is so clear, if this is so true, how come there's no proof? And by that they mean usually something in their common sense today, which is material, or what some people call science, but it's pseudoscience. Scientism is the word for it. And other people will say, look, if this Christianity is so powerful, why are the Christians such hypocrites? And the fourth is, if this is so free, why does it cost me? Why do I have to change? Why does it hurt? Why do I have to take up the cross? Those are the 4 questions, and almost everybody's objections to Christianity fall into one of those categories. And you can learn the way of engaging that as a way of process, not as a way of giving a clever answer. I'm not interested in clever answers. I'm interested in the way in which your heart engages with their heart and their mind to describe what it is that Jesus has given to us. On the other hand, there are questions that we can ask other people which challenge their worldviews. What are the things that they value the most? What is ultimate to them, and how do they know that's going to be worthwhile? How do they know that's going to last them? How do they know it is ultimate? How do they know they're not wasting their life? Where did their morality come from? And so on. There's a number of questions they could ask. So that's what the story is. You can see it's quite content-laden. Some of it's quite difficult, and it's not for everybody. But everybody can at least say what is so special about Jesus. Not this time as my story, not this time as my sharing only my own experience, but viewing historically, looking backwards to the real person who really lived and walked on the real land and ate and went to the toilet and had friends and was tempted. Talking about that one. It is an amazing story. And all you have to do is tell a little bit and see how people can very quickly, very easily be intrigued. They might be afraid to have the chat, but they will be certainly intrigued. So I hope you can learn the story and learn how to share it in ways that are winsome.